lesson for today, we're going to learn about the elements of a book and capitalization rules. Capitalization rules. It's lesson 38. Capitalize the first word of every sentences. For example, I write a letter. You should capitalize the word I or the letter I. For example, like another example, my baby was very cute. I love him. So there were two sentences. You need to capitalize the letter I and the letter T. Names, titles of respect, initials, and the word I. Remember that. You can write it on your separate piece of paper. The days of the week, the days of the week, and the months of your year, but not the seasons. Holidays and special days and proper nouns. We already learned this. There is still more, but my teacher hasn't teach me yet, so I'm not gonna teach you yet. So this is capitalized rules. Open your language book to page 41. Open your language book to page 41. You should get out any kinds of book that you want. I get out my favorite book that I read all over and all over again. Who was Alexander the Great? Elements of the book. Write your name and write the date. Title of the book. Write your title. My title is Who was Alexander the Great? Author of the book. Write yours. Mine is Catherine Waterfield and Roland Waterfield. Type of book. This is kind of like a history book.
Fun.
Numbers of pages in the book. You should look at the end of this. Here, look at this. There are 106 pages. Now the setting. Where did the story take place? It takes place in Persia. When did the story take place? When Alexander was 12. Who was the main character in the story? Alexander. Who were the other characters in the story? Now, in Alexander's stories, there were many more characters. I write them all. So, in your story, in your book, you should write other characters. Or Wuthering Heights, there are Heathcliff, Catherine, and Linton. Philip, Alexander's father. Clintus, Parmenia, Darius, and Roxana. Plot. What was the main character's biggest problem? Alexander has pierced a lung. That means he has hurt the lung. And he can barely breathe. Means he cannot breathe very well. Because he has broken a lung over here. Now he only has a lung over here. Only have one lung. And he had a very coldish fever. How was the problem solved? He was a great king. He was a mighty king. He was a brave and strong, honest king. So his soldiers cared for him. Describe your favorite exciting event in the story. Alexander captured Macedon and all Asia. Wow! And he was very handsome. He has no beard. He loved his soldiers very much. He was kind to all his soldiers and everyone around him. He was a great king. He encouraged his soldiers to win the battles. Even though he was hurt, he had lost a lot of blood, he was still doing great things, and he was still in the heart of his countrymen. So, in my opinion, Alexander is a great king. Look, he looks handsome, right? In Persia, most of the men has beard, but not Alexander. In fact, I want to tell you an interesting fact. Many years later, about 300 or even millions or billions of years or trillions, many years later, visitors to Alexander's tomb said that he's still young and handsome. When people died, they only have the skeleton, right? They didn't have their body anymore. They didn't have blood anymore. Their heart stopped pounding. Alexander's heart still stopped pounding. That is the same to other dead people. But look at him. He still has hair. And he still left the muscles and all the things in the body. That's amazing, right? So, do you have fun learning in language for today? I hope you have fun in the other lessons.